Hey everyone, I'm missing my aerial peeps so much. So here's another flow for you guys. We're gonna get started in our rib hang, just because it's easy for me to establish myself here with the camera, let's be honest. So let's hold that silk up high. And go ahead and slide yourself back into rib hang. And from here, place your hands behind your head, and make those feet wide, and roll those toes out. And I want you to bend into one side, so we're not quite doing the sway. In fact, it should almost feel like you're being pulled forward by your knee and feel like a half plie. So not our usual swinging and swaying that we do, instead a little bit more controlled, a little bit more of an intention here to really feel that beautiful stretch of the calf and of the shin as we press forward and back. So I've been filming today with lots of intentions of feet, ankles, from the knee down. But you know I'm gonna work my way up every day. All right, so let's go ahead and keep those feet wide. Toes are turned out on a diagonal. Bring the hands behind the head. Keep the hips as still as possible, and go ahead and glide. And once you've glided, stay there for a moment and stretch that hand up. So this is, if I'm gliding towards, it would be your left, and then your right hand reaching up overhead, so that back hand. And then come around through the center and going towards your right, reaching your left hand up. Nice and long. And sometimes it feels good to take the swing and the sway out of it and just let the silk traction us. A little bit different, but yummy. Go ahead and bring it back through the center. Settle yourself down into your nice wide open squat here. I want you to roll the shoulders down and back. Make sure you're in your mid-back, not into your armpits. I mean, obviously it touches, but it doesn't hold your weight. And they come up onto your toe bases. And then I want you to just, holding onto those thighs, stretch the heels away. So it's almost as if the hands holding the thighs are trying to oppose the action of the heels going down. Yeah, a little bit of ankle juicing here. And one more time. And then let's bring in some core work. So holding onto those thighs and letting the feet float. Hi. And then maybe you lengthen and pull, and lengthen and pull. And one more time, and pull. Great, settle the feet down. And then we're gonna go into a little bit of Elvis. So I had a client the other day via Zoom who learned the Elvis. So first I'm gonna let you go into the full twist lunge. So you're gonna glide to one side. The knee doesn't have to touch. And then you're going to come right back through center, that double, and then into the other side. And this feels like a beautiful little hip flexor stretch. But you're going to tuck that tail maybe slightly under and really let that front body open. So no butt back, you're not going to get anything out of it, butt forward. And then we're going to transition to Elvis from here. Okay, so from Elvis, what we're going to do is all about the pelvis. The pelvis stays still. We rotate just the leg in, open it back up. Just the leg, and back up and around. Just the leg, back up and around, and again. And we breathe. You have to play your own music. You know I love a good playlist, but with the 4 teenagers in the house trying to find all available and charged electronics to do things like play music in the background has become quite the undertaking. So put on a good classic rock playlist and have some fun for me, okay? One more time. Hold. Good. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and press your body up into a standing position. Parallel your left foot, and then bend into your right knee, finding your warrior two here in your silk. Now we're gonna play around with this a little bit. I want you to send that leg long. It's gonna feel like you're approaching a triangle because it's send your hips back, but then bend right into the knee again. Warrior two. Little triangle prep, warrior two. Triangle. Make sure you're breathing. Breathing is good. One more time. And then you're gonna stay in this triangle. Glide those hands forward. Your back side, that shoulder will come off and around the soak. It can stay and even press into the top soak, bottom hand comes down. And that soak should be kind of up in your armpit, over a comfortable place there on your chest, obviously not in a place that's super uncomfortable. And breathe. And maybe even take this hand behind you, because the soak has you, you can really just kind of open up, almost like if a wild dog or wild thing, flip the dog, wild thing and triangle made out, and had offspring, be here. Am I allowed to mark this video is still kid appropriate? I'm not sure. All right, then come on back up. All the way. Standing tall. Stay centered for just a moment. Take a little back bend into your rib hang. Just hang over. Have a little flash dance moment. And then come up. Hands to the soak. Stand up center. Bending into your left knee. Finding your warrior two. Here it is. Again, we're going to milk that front leg, so don't let that back leg get away from you. I'm sliding on carpet. I hate practicing on carpet, but whatever. Bend into the knee. First world problem. And lengthen that front leg. Bend into the knee. And press. Are you breathing? I certainly hope so. And remember, the more you sink into that soak, really press the floor down with your hands, so you're resisting the soak in some ways. Now hold here. Hold at the top. That little triangle, we're sending those hips back. Both legs are straight, that triangle of the legs. Now leaning forward. You can keep your head behind the soak. Let the back arm come up. And now take this hand to the shin, maybe even press against. I'm pressing back into my leg. This arm is high. You can press into the front soak if that feels good. Or you can open it up and back. That feels amazing. And then come back and through. And all the way. Great. Standing up straight. Let's go ahead. Keep your wide angle. You might not be able to see my toes, but I'm going to parallel them in so that it's almost like the big toes are trying to come in towards each other. My feet are at least parallel. Let the soak come off of your shoulders, off of your elbows. Then glide your hips back while you glide your hands forward into a wrist wrap. Now, I'm going to change my angle so you can see. Here we are. Now, from here, I said the parallel toes are in. Go ahead and bend the knees and press. Bend the knees and press. So you should really feel a lot of sensations through the shins, through the calves, up through the sits bones, and of course the core should be engaged, drawing up and in so that you're not just letting your belly hang. That spine is supported by the strength of your core. Now, from here, lift the toes, pivot them, the heels in, so you're in more of a deep squat. Now take it down into that deep squat and then press. Now notice I'm keeping my spine flat. My spine's not doing any work. I'm holding onto the soak, but I'm not pulling it in and out. I'm letting my hips drop down to settle, and then pressing the floor away to lift the hips back up. Hips settle, and press the floor away. Give me 2 more of these. You know I love a good deep Malasana, deep squat. Did I say 1 more? Yeah, whatever, give me 1 more, because they're fun. Coming up. All right, now from here, go ahead and glide that spine 1 vertebrae at a time to a standing position. And now you're going to make your way into your hip hang. So separate your soak, thumbs to the back, fingers to the front, elbows come in front. Make sure your shirt is down so that When you put your hip belt on, make sure it stays down. I'm talking to me more than you right now. Walk back under that plumb line. Head goes heavy, tailbone goes high. Good. Now from here, we're going to press the floor. Push it away. Maybe when you push it away, I have no idea where my screen is back there, but you can extend those legs long. I'm afraid I'm going to kick it. Let me turn a little bit more. There we go. And pull. Press. Maybe the legs widen. And then as you pull, maybe you close those legs and make it feel a little bit more like a plank. And pull. Good. 2 more times here. And last one. Now, let's work on those booties, girls. So, let's stay in our pull through. So I'm keeping my hands under my shoulders. I have a little bit of an isometric contraction going on. I'm going to lower 1 foot to the floor, but lift 1 foot to the sky. And then I'm going to switch and switch. Now, keep pulling that floor under you. Tuck your head under even. And it can almost start to feel like you're doing your Pilates hamstring pull, right? Maybe you can even get coordinated enough to touch opposite hand to the inside of that calf or ankle. Work it. Oh, I'm losing the floor. Sneaking into down dog. Stay with me. 1 more time. Good. Now hold. Stay nice and long. Press back. Circle the legs around. Circle the legs under. Connect toes to wrist. Inhale, halfway rise. And exhale, stand all the way. Shake it out. Now, let's go into a little bit of a leg stretch. Actually, you know what, we're gonna go, you guys know this in class, I'm like, wait, hold on, actually let's do it this way. So we're gonna work on some of our Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana, like hip opening, but let's get in there from an inversion, shall we? So, if you're following along at home as one of my students, that means you know how to do this. I take no responsibility for anyone who doesn't know how to do this. So, grabbing hold of that silk, finding it along your back, stepping your weight into it, coming under your plumb line, coming up into your Madhu Konasana. Hey guys. All right, beautiful. Now let's just be here for a moment. We get here, we work for it, right? Just let the body decompress before we add all the twists and tricks and all that kind of stuff. Just let your body chill. Maybe you want your hands under your head. Maybe you want your hands behind your back. Maybe you want to stretch. I like to challenge my chest mobility by keeping my palms together behind my back. Let me move here a little bit so you can see that. Keep my palms together. And then as I stretch my arms, can I keep my palms together? So a little bit different than opening the palms. All right, shake it out a little bit. Add some twist if it feels good. This is probably where my camera goes blurry, but you hear my voice, right? All right, so you're like, Jamie, we're talking about Uttita Hasta Padangusthasana, what? That's my kids will say, blah, 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 blah. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into a little bit of a chandelier first. So take one leg away and let's clean up that chandelier for a moment. So stretch that leg long, stretch the arms long. Now, can you keep your arms long and the palms are open? Can you bend into the leg, dip your toes into the pocket without separating your hands? If you can't, that's fine. And then let those arms go. Keep that chandelier just as it is. We'll get back into this, but first, let's grab a hold of those silks. Okay, you're gonna pull yourself up. I'm gonna twist myself around and get my hand above my knee. Okay, 1 foot can maybe touch the floor. If not, that's okay. So you pull yourself up. You're gonna pull yourself to standing. Now, if I stayed in chandelier and your hand was above your knee and you pulled yourself up, that chandelier leg would slip right into this thigh, okay? So it should be under the knee, in front of the thigh. If you're like, wait, I got stuck, try it again. Just get back into chandelier, pull yourself up and let it just slide into place. And it will be behind your back up underneath of your armpit, and then cross in front of your armpit. So it's a little bit like a boa constrictor. And now here what I want you to focus on is this hip that wants to kind of sit back. In our standing poses, it often wants to sit back or get a little crazy. Push the floor away under your standing foot. Notice how that hip kind of finds a buoyancy and a lightness, the suspended hip. And then press that hip bone even more forward and act like this knee wants to pull the silk back. And then extend the arms. And then maybe if you're feeling it, you can extend that leg and grab a hold of the toe. And then maybe if you're feeling balanced, you can lift your other arm, let it slide off your shoulder and into the front. And now maybe you can just hold it yourself. Ooh, knowing that it's always there to catch you if you can't. Great. Go ahead and come on up. Now you can always step back into your Baddha Konasana. So take this leg wrap off, stand in front of it, hold your belt, get back in, or you can go in by taking this to your ankle, sliding the other foot in, slide to your knee, slide to your bum. And then from there, we're going to get into our Baddha Konasana by either doing your squeegee butt, or you can lift yourself up and in. And then we're going to chandelier other side. So it'll be this way. Good. And here again, can you straighten the legs, straighten the arms, dip the tip in. It's always harder for me, like the hamstring. And once you have that, hands to the silk, roll yourself up, grab a hold of the silk over your ankle. Now let your knee grip the silk. It's got the silk, see it? And now pull yourself up so that you're standing. Readjust all your clothes. And so here you are. Ground foot pushes the floor away. Feel the buoyancy and lightness in this hip. And then feel as if, let this arm come in front, that you're pushing back on the silk. So you're really opening up this hip face to the front of your body. And then maybe you can extend that leg, grab the foot, and then try to pull the foot towards you. So you're not leaning into your silk, but try to stand up out of it. And then to test your strength, maybe you let that silk come off that shoulder, and now you stand up out of it. And knowing that at any point when your elegant sufficiency is over, you can simply bend the knee and the silk has you. Isn't that great? All right, so from there, let's go ahead and I'm going to talk you into sleeping bear today. So bear with me. There's a pun. I didn't even mean that one really. And you'll stretch your silk out like so. Okay, and then gather one edge, about a third of it, 7 to 8 times. Scoot your tush in, reach your arms back, and then you're going to reach around the silk like you're going to give yourself a bear hug, but then gather the silk on each side. Now they're like elephant ears, so notice to make bigger elephant ears, I need to kind of roll myself back so that the silk catches me at my shoulders and my knees are out of the silk, okay? My knees are not touching it. I'm going to pull those elephant ears around the outsides of the silk and around the front edge closest to me. Now, I'm going to use my elbows to tuck them into the silk, and I'm going to shrug myself all the way up to my shoulders, so I'm not hanging arms out anymore, but I still have hold of my elephant ears, so right here, I haven't let them go. Now I'm going to bring those feet up and through the silk and to the front of my elephant ears. Okay, so there's my foot, but I'm going to stick it right into those ears I'm holding so that the heel, you should be able to see it, sticks right into each elephant ear. Now this wide strip or this long strip going across the width, I'm going to tuck over my heels. And then I'm going to press the legs up pressing right into those elephant ears still. And then I'm going to put my head into the silk. So just reach behind you and stretch that silk so that it goes over your head. Now here's legs up the wall, or you can reach down in, find a pocket of silk on either side of the outside edges of your knees. There you'll find a fold of silk that's thicker than where your legs are, right there by your knees. Go ahead and tuck your fingertips back like you're pulling that pocket back towards you. Press a little bit into your feet, open your knees, and then put those knees right behind those pockets. And now you're in sleeping bear. Arms can cross over your chest, or they can go up over your head. For a big stretch. I'm going to repeat this just in case you got lost. So I've got my elephant ears, sticking my feet in, sticking that strip, pressing up through, sticking my knees into either side of the pocket. Head can be in. And that's your sleeping bear. And just be there for a few moments. You can join me in Shavasana, letting your hips just open. If at any time you're like, oh, I'm not really certain about sleeping bear, I'm not sure that I got it right, don't worry, it took me probably 3 dozen times before I finally got the origami correct. But at any time you can always just, don't worry about your knees opening up and let your heels just be heavy in the elephant ears and your knees can bend, and it's kind of like you're tucked into an upside down ball. Or if you don't like your feet up at all, you can always come down into feet fully in the silk for the full length of cocoon. And here you can rest in Shavasana, allowing your body to take beautiful deep breaths in and out. Allowing your breath to wash over you and feel as if there was a gentle light flowing down behind your eyebrows, past your nose, into your throat, through your chest, under your belly, all the way into your hips. And then as your exhale flows out, feeling that breath move from the tailbone up through the spine, through the ribs, up through the neck and the back of the head, coming to the top of the head. And your inhale again flowing through the front of the head, the throat, through the chest, under the belly, into the hips. The exhale going through the tailbone, up the spine, into the ribs, beyond the neck, into the heaviness of the head. Continue to stay with your breath, feeling it move in and out of your body. Letting it take a natural rhythm. Take another deep breath in and a deep breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms and your legs. Reach your hands up onto the edge of silk. Let your feet become free of the silk's edge. Take another deep breath in. And on your exhale, pull yourself upright to a seated position. Letting the hands dangle. Taking a deep breath in, reaching the hands up. Exhale, letting the hands come down through heart center, elbows slicing into the sides. Allow the eyes to drift closed for a moment. Invite one more breath deep into the body. And sigh it away. May this practice find you full of peace, shanti, sukha, joy. Namaste.